أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربي زدني علما السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome to LQ Milton class number 13. Number, are there anybody waiting? Welcome to class number 13 today, inshallah. Today we will try to finish lesson number 8, inshallah. But before we begin lesson number 8 and the concept that we are learning in lesson number 8, let's refresh our minds. And I had promised in the last class that we would try and conjugate at least 2 verbs past tense in the class on the board. Before we begin with that, let's remind ourselves with the 14 pronouns damir munfasil, detached pronouns. And when I say detached pronouns, that means they come on their own. They do not attach themselves to anything, right? Very soon we will learn about damirun muttasilun, attached pronouns, and I guarantee you, once we learn about the damir muttasil, the attached pronoun, it is a key. A lot of the words in the Quran will start to make sense to us. Very important topic, but that's for in the next few classes. Damir munfasil, detached pronouns. How many of them there are? 14 of them. Huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna, anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna, ana, nahnu. Huwa means he, third person, singular, right, or it. Huma, 2 of them, al musanna. In Arabic we call it al musanna or dual for 2, third person. Hum, third person, plurals, more than 2. Hiya, she, third person, singular. Huma, dual, 2, al musanna, feminine, third person. Hunna, feminine, third person, more than 2, plural. Anta, you, singular, masculine gender. Antuma, 2 of you, masculine gender, second person. Antum, you, more than 2, plural, masculine gender. Anti, you, singular, feminine gender, second person. Antuma, you, feminine gender, second person. Antunna, you, feminine gender, more than two, plural. Ana, me, I, nahanu, all of us. Just a very quick reminder, refresh our minds. We learned in the last classes that to conjugate the past tense, there is a die, and today we will demonstrate that die. You take any three letter verb and you put that verb into a die and you can conjugate that verb. Side by side, we have conjugated two past tenses. The first one is sajada. What is the meaning of sajada? He prostrated. He prostrated. Now, one thing we know that whenever there is a verb, there is an action, there is a doer of the action. Without doer of the action, action cannot happen. And what do we call doer of the action in Arabic language? Fa'il. Fa'il, the thing or a person who is performing the action. So, when I say sajada, it is right in front of huwa, which means he prostrated. Where is the file? Mustatir. Now, the first one is always mustatir, hidden inside the file, which means huwa, he. So, sajada we call file, mustatir, file is hidden, estimation of it is huwa. Then come sajada, sajada, sajada. What is this alif doing here? This is the file. So, when you take a verb and then you see it in this form, sajada or darasa, immediately you know we are talking about two, dual, al musanna, third person, right, masculine gender. Sajada, alif is the file, this is the indication. Next one, sajadu. Now, you see how there is a three letter verb, we call it first radical seen, second radical jim, and third radical dal, right. So, in hum, the third radical, which is the dal, gets a dhamma. This is a spelling rule, because waw is compatible with dhamma. This is a bit more explanation, spelling rule, right. If you remember it, fine. Even if you remember the die, this is good enough, but whenever there is a waw there, the letter before the waw will get a dhamma, because waw is always compatible with dhamma. So, sajada, sajadu. What is this waw doing here? This is the file. So, whenever you read the Quran or recite the Quran and you see a past tense and you come across this verb, you would know immediately we are talking about plural, third person, masculine, gender, and waw is indicating the file, the doer of the action. What is this alif doing here? This is a spelling rule. We will learn it about later. This is to protect the waw, basically. For at this time, just remember that. Next one is here, sajadat. Sajada, sajada, sajadu, sajadat. Where is the file? Now, this ta represents feminine gender. This is not the file. The file is mustatir again, just like for huwa. Only for huwa and here, the file is mustatir, hidden inside the verb, and the estimation of file in sajadat is here. This ta represents tau tanisi, or this represents that it is a feminine gender, because if I remove the ta, then sajada and sajada will be the same, right. So, the star represents that we are now talking about third person, feminine gender, singular, right. Now, when we come to here sajadat, then sajadata, sajadata. Where is the file in sajada? Just like sajada, alif is representing the file, alif here is representing the file, sajadata, and this ta is representing that we are talking about feminine gender, mashallah, sajadata. The third radical in sajadat gets a sakun. Just watch for these small little changes, and these changes will always remain in the die. So, we have to memorize it, and once we memorize it, it automatically will come, we will automatically say that. Sajadata, alif represents the file. So, when we read the Quran, or when we recite the Quran, or when we listen to the Quran, when a verb comes in this form, immediately first I would identify that this is a feminine gender for dual. Hunna, sajadna, the third radical here gets a sakun, sajadna. Where is the file? This noon is the file, nunu niswa, we call it nunu niswa, this is the file. So, when we say sajadna, noon is the file, we already know this is third person, plural, more than two, right, feminine gender. Then come anta, sadashta, you prostrated, singular, I am talking to a person who is in front of me, singular, masculine, ta, this ta represents the file, sadashtuma. Now, this is easy, after hunna is very easy, sadashta, anta sadashta, antuma sadashtuma, antum sadashtum, anti sadashti, antuma sadashtuma, antunna sadashtunna, ana sadashtu, nahnu sajadna. Ta, tuma, tum, ti, tuma, tunna, tuna represents the file, represents the file. So, when I say you prostrated, masculine gender, second person, then I would use sajashta. But when I say I prostrated, I made the sajda, I made in past tense, what do I do? Sajashtu. And when we say we all prostrated, sajadna. So, when a verb comes in Quran, immediately with practice, knowing the die, know how to conjugate it, we will immediately be able to figure out whether it is a third person, second person, first person, masculine gender, feminine gender. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing a single person, dual or plural, more than two. So, this is a concept for the past tense sajada. So, let us conjugate it sajada, sajada, sajadu, sajadat, sajadata, sajadna, sajajta, sajashtuma, sajashtum, sajashti, sajashtuma, sajattunna, sajashtu, sajatna. Same pattern, same die, put darasa, let us conjugate it darasa, darasa, darasu, darasat, darasata, darasna, darasta, darastuma, darastum, darasti, darastuma, darastunna, darastu, darasna. Once we know where the file is in this verb, immediately we can identify the file in darasa. What is the meaning of darasa? He studied. He studied. So, when I say I studied, darastu. When I say you studied, feminine, singular, darasti. When I say You studied, masculine, second person singular, darasta. When I say they studied, more than two, plural, they studied, darasu, more than two, right, more than two. So, it is very important first A to understand the 14 pronouns, and then take a verb, conjugate it, understand, first practice conjugating it, write them down. We have shared blank sheets in the WhatsApp group, print them up and pick up one or two verbs every week and then conjugate it, write it down. Writing is very important. This will only going to strengthen our knowledge. So, 2 dice. Let us pick up one more verb, samea. What is the meaning of samea? He heard or he listened, right, samea. So, using the same die, put samea here, we can conjugate it. Same thing, samea, samea, sameu, sameat, sameata, same'na, same'ta, same'tuma, same'tum, same'ti, same'tuma, same'tunna, same'tu, I heard, same'na, we heard. So, on the WhatsApp group, we have shared a sheet with many verbs. Pick any two verbs from the first column. Let us pick the verb from the first column, any verb, practice it, write it down, try to conjugate it. Samea means he heard, right? He heard. So, a little tip for all of us, when we do the salah, what do we say after Sami Allahu liman hamida? Have we, let me just write that down. Samaya. What is samaya? A verb. And whenever there is an action, there has to be a doer of the action. Now, here in the past few classes, we said that whenever there is a jumla failure, and this is a jumla failure because a verbal sentence, because it begins with the verb. Whenever in a jumla failure there is a noun or ism which is marfu, automatically we identify it as the doer of the action or the file. So, right after samaya comes Allahu. Is Allahu marfu? Yes. Is Allahu a noun? Yes. So, who heard? Allah heard. So, after the ruku, when we stand up and we say Sami Allahu liman hamida, Allah heard. Now, it all makes sense now. So, this is a little tip. Once we know what we are saying in the salah, the concentration bound to come. You are now understanding, you know now what you are saying. And liman, we have done that in lesson number 7. Remember liman haza or liman hazi, to whom it belongs, right? To whom or whosoever. So, Allah heard, li harf jar, man ism majroor. We did that in lesson number 7, liman. Allah heard liman, whosoever, hamida, whosoever praised him. This who here is representing Allah. This is a damir muttasil, the attached pronoun. We have not done this this concept yet, but we know hamida mean praise. Allah heard whosoever praise Him. This who goes back to Allah. This is a pronoun, an attached pronoun. We have not done this lesson, but I am just throwing it out. So, a little tip. Now we know what this means. So, next time when we do the salah and we stand up, we just don't say the words Sami Allahu liman hamida. We would think about what we are saying. Similarly, another tip for the salah, inshallah, slowly we will explain the entire salah in small pieces here and there whenever we will have a tool in our toolkit, so that in the next few months when you are standing in the salah, you know exactly what you are saying, and your concentration and then the taste of the salah, you actually will feel it in your heart. What we say? Allahu Akbar. How many times? Many times we do Allahu Akbar in salah, right? What kind of jumla or sentence is this? What is Allah? An ism. It's an ism. Jumla ismiya, nominal sentence. What are we looking for in a nominal sentence? Mubtada khabar. Where is mubtada? Allah. What is akbar? Let me just write that down and explain it. Allahu Akbaru, and then explain the Akbaru. Akbaru is your khabar. Allah is the mubtada, Allah is the greatest. You see how in English language there are degrees: small, smaller, smallest, big, bigger, biggest, good, better, best, right? We make degrees. Similarly, in Arabic language, when I say kabirun, kabirun mean big, kabirun. But when I change this kabirin and put that into a pattern, akbaru, which means greatest, saghirun mean small. When I say asgharu, smallest, right? So, this is what we call ismu tafdil, a noun of the highest degree, a noun with the highest degree possible. So, we are using a noun with the highest degree for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, next time in salah, when we say Allahu Akbar, whenever we say it Allahu Akbar, we should remind ourselves that we are praising Allah in the highest degree, greatest. Ismu tafdil, we are not using kabirun or saghirun or any other noun, we are using ismu tafdil, which is the highest degree, akbaru. Just a small tip for us to concentrate when next time we stand up in salah. Now we will begin our lesson number 8. What are we learning in lesson number 8? We are learning about the concept of badalun or substitute. And quickly, let's just remind ourselves the concept. If I am holding a pen in my hand and I say haza jadidun, this is new, or I can say the pen is new, al qalamu jadidun, or I can say hazal qalamu jadidun, this pen is new. So, this al qalamu is a substitute for haza, and the substitute, the badal, always comes after ismu ishara, number 1, and it will be definite, So, the litmus test in the last class we did, in this sentence hazal qalamu jadidun, if I remove haza, then it becomes al qalamu jadidun, or if when I remove al qalamu it becomes haza jadidun. So, al qalamu here is playing a role of badal, substitute. The concept is the same. The person, but why the concept of badal is introduced? Because badal will bring forcefully the emphasis. Now, I am not just relying on pointing something towards something, I am also saying that this pen is new, and then we did few examples from the Quran. One was that law anzalna hazal Qur'ana, haza al Qur'ana, the grammatical value of al Qur'ana here is badal. Zalikal yawmu, al yawmu is the badal. Zalikal kitabu la rayba fi, al kitabu is the badal. Why? Because they came after ismu ishara, and then they were definite, and then the badal can be marfu, badal can be mansoob, and badal can be majroor depending on the role ismu ishara that it is followed by, what role that ismu ishara is playing. In this ayah, law anzalna hazal Qur'ana, haza is playing a role of a mansoob. We have not learned it. Why? We'll learn it later. But haza is mansoob here. It is an object here. Maf'ulun bihi. It is an object here. Maf'ulun bihi. So, this is what we are learning in lesson number 8. Page number 42. Lesson number 8. We had finished the lesson without the exercises, but let us just quickly go over the lesson again. We do not have to analyze it. Class number 12, we had analyzed it. We have the video on YouTube, so you can go back. Let us just simply translate it. And move on to the exercises. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Hazar rajulu tajirun. We know this is jumla ismiya. What is haza? Mubtada. What is ar rajulu? Badal, substitute. This man is a merchant. Wazalikar rajulu tabibun. And what is waw and harfu atfin? That man is a doctor. Simple translation. We have done the grammatical analysis. Ismut tajiri, mudaf mudaf alayh. Name of the merchant Mahmudun is Mahmud. Name of the merchant is Mahmud. Wasmut tabibi Saidun, and name of the doctor is Said. Name of the doctor is Said. Hazal baitu littajiri. Hazal baitu littajiri. What is haza? Mubtada. What is al baitu? It's definite. It's coming after ismu ishara. So, this is your badal, substitute. Hazal baitu, this house. Li harfjar at tajiri isam majroor. This house belongs to the merchant. Wazalikal baitu lit tabibi, and that house belongs to the doctor, male doctor. Wazalikal baitu lit tabibi, and that house belongs to the doctor. Now, imagine we are talking about feminine lady doctor. Then instead of saying lit tabibi, we will change the tabib into tabiba ti, right. Taw tanisi will bring in the taw tanisi. Baitut tajiri, house of the merchant. Amam al masjidi is in front of the masjid. baytut tabibi khalfal madrasati, and house of the doctor is behind the school, behind the school. Now, how many types of khabar we have learned so far? 3 types. How many there are? 5 types. So, khabar, if khabar is one word mufrad, then it is marfu and it is a noun. Khabar can be jarun wa majrurun, harf jar followed by a ism which will be majroor, and khabar can be zarf, adverb. So, when I say baytut tajiri amam al masjidi, baytu, what is baytu? Mubtada, baytu mubtada, wahuwa, and it is also a mudaf, at tajiri mudaf alayh, because at tajiri is majroor. What kind of compound? It comes to my mind when 2 nouns come together. First noun has a single dhamma, it does not have an al, and the next noun is majroor, then immediately my mind should go, this is a compound called mudaf, mudaf alayh, the possessive case. So, I would say house of the merchant. Where is the khabar? Amama, zarf. When I say house of the merchant is in front, front, zarf, adverb of place. What is al masjidi? Mudaf alayh. Now, adverb amama, some zarf need mudaf alayh to explain themselves. When I say amama, in front of, then your mind is wondering in front of what? Then you bring in al masjidi mudaf alayh, which is connected to amama. So, now it makes all sense, in front of the masjid. Amama is the khabar shibu jumla and al masjidi is the mudaf alayh. Next one, liman hazihi sayyaratu, to whom this car belongs, wa liman tilka, and to whom that. Hazihi sayyaratu lit tabibi, this car belongs to the doctor, wa tilka lit tajiri, and that belongs to the merchant, and that belongs to the merchant. Hazihi sayyaratu min al yabani, this car is from Japan, wa tilka min America, and that is from America. Tamarin, exercise. Ajib anil as'ilatil atiyati, answer the following question. Now, Dr. Saab is asking us a question and then we have to find the answers from the main lesson. Very simple. Dr. Saab is asking us, Man hazar rajalu, who is this man? Right. So, there were 2 men in the main lesson, one was lil qarib, near to us, and one was lil ba'id, far from us. The one who was near to us was tajir, was merchant, and the one who was far from us was a tabib, was a doctor, right. So, now Dr. Saab is asking us, Man haza rajalu, what is haza? Lil qarib. So, who was qarib to us? Tajir. Wa zalikal rajulu, wa man zalikal rajulu, and who's that person? So, we say haza rajalu tajirun wa zalikal rajalu tabibun, right. Haza rajalu tajirun, this man is a merchant, wa zalikal rajalu tabibun, and that man is a doctor. Very simple. Masmut tajiru, what is ma? What? Masmu, what is the name of the merchant? Masmu, what is the name of the merchant? What was his name? The next sentence in the main lesson, Ismut tajiri mahmudun, the name of the merchant is Mahmud. Mahmud. One thing that I remember on Allahu Akbar, sorry to go back a bit, it is actually Allahu Akbaru. Akbaru, Akbaru is Ismu Tafdil. This is a pattern. Akbaru, asgharu is a pattern. But when we do the azan, or when we say, we put the stop sign here. So, the stop sign we say Allahu Akbar, we stop there, we do not say Akbaru, but technically it is Allahu Akbaru, but since we have the stop sign here, we say Allahu Akbar, we stop there. I just thought, just came to my mind to explain it. Coming back to the lesson, Masmut Tabibi, what is the name of the doctor? What is the name of the doctor? Ismut Tabibi Saidun is in the main lesson. Name of the doctor is Said. Min aina sayyaratu tabibi. Okay. Min aina, from. Min aina. Aina comes. Aina mean where. Min means from. From where? Sayyaratu tabibi is car of the doctor. Now, the last two sentences give us the answer. Minal Yabani. Now, the car of the doctor was near to us. So, we say Sayyaratu Tabibi Minal Yabani. Sayyaratu Tabibi, car of the doctor is from Japan. Minal Yabani. What is min? Harf jar. Al Yabani ism majroor. Next one, min aina sayyaratu tajiri, where is the car from? For a car of the merchant, the answer is sayyaratu tajiri min America. Now, what does now the scenario is flipped in the last two. Tajir is near to us, because we are using the ismu ishara haza for tajir, and for tabib doctor we are using zalika, right. But as far as the cars are concerned, the tabib, though he is far, but his car is near to us, and tajir who is near to us, but his car is far from us. So, Dr. Saab kind of flipped it very intelligently, right, so that we understand it. Sayyaratu tajiri min America, car of merchant is from America. Next one, aina baytu tajiri, where is house of the merchant? Where is his house? The answer is baytu tajiri amamal masjidi, house of the merchant is in front of the masjid. So, we write them down. Dr. Saab has given us the space for us to write it down. So, even if right now you can write it down, download Hallut Tamarin. Hallut Tamarin is the solution to the exercises. It is on our website. Download them. Try writing it first yourself, and then go back to the solutions, and then check your answers against the solutions provided by the Dr. Saab, but before, try it yourself. It is only going to make us strong. Translate it first, try to translate it, write it, practice it. That is how we will achieve proficiency. Last one, aina baytu tabibi, where is house of the doctor? Baytu tabibi khalfal madrasati, it is behind the house of the doctor is behind the school, behind the school. Next lesson, Ikra Baktub, read and write, very easy. Dr. Saab did not provide the Arabs in this exercises, but we have enough knowledge and enough tools in our toolkit that we can figure out what are the Arabs on these words. For example, the first one is haza. Now, immediately I know that this is jumla ismiya, nominal sentence. It begins with a noun, haza, this, and after haza comes al wala. What should I say? Al waladu, because when it is jumla ismiya and mubtada is marfu. Mubtada is marfu, and if mubtada is marfu, then badal has to be marfu. Badal has to be marfu too. So, we do not say al walada or al waladi, my mind immediately knows it is al waladu, badal. And where is the khabar? Khalidun. Khalidun. It's your khabar. It's a noun, one word, and when the khabar is one word, mufrid, then it is marfu. Now, why we are using tanween in Khalidun and why we are not using tanween in the badal? Because badal has an al there. Definite. Is haza definite? Yes, haza is definite. That is why badal is your definite. It comes with al, and we have a single dhamma on it. This boy is Khalid. Wa and zalikal waladu Muhammadun, and that boy is Muhammad. Same thing, zalikal waladu Muhammadun, jumla ismiya. We know how to put the Arabs now. We have enough knowledge and we keep practicing it. So, on your book, put the Arabs. Put the Arabs as we are going through this exercise. Put the Arabs on your book. Number 2, Hazar Rajalu. Again, same thing, Hazar Rajalu. This man, Mudarrisun, is a teacher. Wazalikar Rajalu Muhandisun, and that man is engineer. Third one, Hazal Kitabu. What is Haza? Is a mubtada. What is Al Kitabu? Badal. Jadidun. Same concept here. Hazal Kitabu Jadidun. This book is new. Wazalik al Kitabu Qadimun, and that book is old. So, zalika is your mubtada, al kitabu is your badal, qadimun is your khabar. What is this waw doing here? Ataf. It is joining the two sentences, the two nominal sentences, jumla ismiya here. We have learned that concept. Number 4, hazihi sayyaratu. Hazihi sayyar. Now, very cleverly Dr. Saab is bringing in ismu ishara, but in a feminine gender. Why feminine gender? Why hazihi? Because we are talking about sayyaratu. There is a taw tanisi, it is a feminine gender. So, we say hazihi sayyaratu. This car. What is the grammatical value of a sayyaratu? Badal, substitute. Li Ali yin, belongs to Ali. What kind of khabar is that? Li harf jar, aliyin ism majroor, jarun wa majrurun shibu jumla khabar. When I say shibu jumla, what do we recall about shibu jumla? It is a phrase. It is a phrase, right? It is not a complete jumla, but it can act as a khabar for a subject. So, for example, in this sentence I say li aliyin belongs to Ali. It sounds like that it is a sentence, but no, it does not give me a complete sense what belongs to Ali, right. Your mind is immediately wondering what belongs to Ali. Then we have to go back and look at the subject, the mubtada, haza. So, haza is your mubtada, as-sayyaratu is your badal, and li aliyin jarun wa majrun shibu jumla khabar. Wa tilka li Khalidin, and that belongs to Khalid. Now, why are we using tilka here? Because we are talking about as-sayyaratu, the car, and car is feminine. So, that is why we are using tilka, the feminine. Zalika is for masculine, tilka is for feminine. So, wa tilka li Khalidin, and that is for Khalid. Number 5, hazal babu maftuhun wa zalikal babu mughlaqun. Hazal babu maftuhun. That door is open. Wazalikal babu. Sorry, this door is open. Wazalikal babu mughlaqun, and that door is closed. Closed. This door is open and that door is closed. Liman hazihi sa'atu. To whom this watch belongs to? The answer is hiya. Hiya, a pronoun, detached pronoun, damir munfasil, they come on their own, they do not attach themselves to anything, unlike here where who is attaching itself to hamida. We have not learned this concept, but this is who here is representing damir muttasil, attached pronoun. Huwa, hiya, these detached pronouns come on their own. Why we are using hiya? Because we are talking about a sa'atu, a watch. There is a taw tanisi there. We know it is a feminine gender, right? That is why we say it is. Hiya li Abbasin, it belongs to Abbas. Is this a jumla ismiya? Yes. Hiya is a pronoun. Pronouns are nouns. Is hiya definite? Yes, hiya is definite. All pronouns are definite. All pronouns are definite. All pronouns are marfu. But they are mabni. But they are mabni, right? Depending on their position in the sentence, we can figure out whether they are playing a role of a marfu, mansub or a majroor. But here in their original nature, they are all marfu, just like all nouns in their original nature as natural, they occur as in a marfu form, right. So, here is marfu, it is definite, it is mubtada. Li Abbasin jarun wa majrurun shibu jumla khabar, it belongs to Abbas. Ahazal baytu lit tabibi, is this house belongs to the doctor? And the answer is la. What is la? Harful jawab, in negation, no. Huwa lil mudarrisi. Now, huwa, we are using huwa here. Why not here? Because we are talking about baytun now, al baytu. There is no golta, the round ta, the taw tanisi there. So, we are using, we can't use here, we use huwa. It belongs to the teacher, huwa lil mudarrisi. Huwa is your mubtada, lil mudarrisi jarun wa majrurun shibu jumla khabar. Number 8, ahazihi darrajatu libnil muazzini, is this bicycle belongs to son of the muazzin? The answer is naam, yes. Sometimes only a one word can explain or answer the question. Ahazihi darrajatu, why we are using hazihi here? Because we are talking about a darrajatu, bicycle, and you can see the round ta there, feminine gender, hazihi. Li harf jar, ibnu becomes ibni because after harf jar comes ism majroor. So, ibnu will become ibni, libni. There is a hamzatul wasal there, the hamza of assimilation, libni. And this ibni here is playing two roles here. First, it is an ism majroor and it is also a mudaf, because right after ibni comes al muazzini, belongs to son of the muazzin, mudaf mudaf alayh. So, we have to figure that out. Number 9, man hazal waladu, who is this boy? Man, who is this boy? Answer is huwa. Now, we are talking about boy. So, we used huwa, he, talibun minal Iraqi, he is a student from Iraq. Now, where is the mubtada? Huwa. Where is the khabar? Talibun, student. If khabar is one word, it is marfu. What is the grammatical value of minal Iraqi? Jarun wa majrurun shibu jumla. That's it. Khabar already came. The predicate already came. This is extra information. He is a student from Iraq. Minal Iraqi is jarun wa majrurun shibu jumla. Number 11. Number 10. Azalikal baitu jadidun. Is that house new? Answer is la. No. Huwa qadimun jiddan. Huwa qadimun jiddan. Now jiddan, we already did that in lesson number 7. Jiddan is maf'ulun mutlaq, an absolute object which means very. No, it is very old, but the actual concept of maf'ulun mutlaq or absolute object we will learn in book number 3. Number 11. Hazihi sayyaratu min al yabani wa tilka min Switzera. Hazihi sayyaratu. What is the mubtada? Hazihi. What is the grammatical value of as-sayyaratu? Badal. Min al yabani jarun wa majrurun shibu jumla khabar. Right. This car is from Japan. Wa tilka min Switzera. And that is from Switzerland. Switzera, Switzerland. Number 12. Haza sikkinu. Haza sikkinu. What is the meaning of sikkinu? Knife. Knife. This knife minal mania. What is the meaning of mania? Germany. Germany. Yeah, but it is hamzatul qata. So min Almania is the hamzatul qata. Min Almania is from Germany. Wa tilkal mil'aqatu, and that spoon min inkal tarra is from England. See, the names of the countries have a different form, unusual form here. Even though min comes, inkal tarra, we cannot say inkal tarri because it is a diptote. Mamnu min as-sirf, we have learned the concept of diptote. Foreign names, if they do not have an al attached to them, would not decline to with a kasra. So inkal tarra is here is majroor. Number 3. Ikra al misal allati summa hawwil al jumla al atiyati mislahu. Now we have to look at the example given by Dr. Saab, and then using the example we have to convert the sentence into a badal. For example, when I say haza kitabun, this is a book, I have to convert kitabun into a badal, into a substitute. Haza kitabun, this is a book. Now convert kitabun into a badal. Hazal kitabu. Hazal kitabu li Muhammadin. Now first sentence haza kitabun, haza is your mubtada, kitabun is your khabar, correct? In the next sentence, haza is your mubtada, al kitabu is the badal. Now kitabun convert into a badal. So where is the khabar? We have to bring in a khabar now. So li harf jar Muhammadin is a majroor, jarun wa majrurun shibu jumla khabar. So using the same concept, we have to convert the nouns into the badal. For example, haza tabibun. Haza tabibun. What is the meaning of haza tabibun? This is a doctor. Now change tabibun into badal. We say haza at tabibu or haza tabibu. Now the grammatical value of tabibun is no longer a predicate. It is a yeah, the grammatical value of tabibu now change into a badal. Haza tabibu. Now haza is there, a tabibu is your badal, it's not a khabar anymore. So, we have to bring in the khabar, and the khabar Dr. Saab already gave in the exercise is minal Hindi, from India. This doctor is from India. When I say Hazat Tabibu, it makes sense, this is a doctor. But when I say Hazat Tabibu, because this Hamza is Hamza to Hamza assimilation, then we combine the Haza with at Tabibu, Hazat Tabibu minal Hindi. Next one, Hazihi Sayyaratu. This is a car. Now change Sayyaratu into a badal. Hazihi Sayyaratu. This car lil mudiri belongs to the headmaster. Zalika waladun. That boy. Change waladun into a badal. Zalikal waladu ibnul mudarrisi. That boy is son of the teacher. Tilka sa'atun. There is a watch. Convert sa'atun, which has a grammatical value of khabar, into a badal. Tilka sa'atu min Swisra, is from Switzerland. Haza baytun. This is a house. Hazal baytu lil muhandisi. Haza qalamun. This is a pen. Hazal qalamu li abbasin. Zalika rajulun. There is a man. Zalikar rajulu muazzinun. Hazihi baydatun. Hazihi. Why hazihi? Because baydatun is a feminine gender, it ends with a golta, tautanisi. Hazihil baydatu kabiratun. Kabiratun means big. Now kabirun big, kabiratun is for feminine. And what is the superlative degree, the greatest degree? Akbaru. Haza mindilun. Hazal mindilu wasikhun. Wasikhun mean dirty. Hazihi haqibatun. This is a bag. Hazihil haqibatu lil mudarrisi. Next exercise. Again same thing, we have to look at the example given by Dr. Saab and then try to solve the exercise using the pattern given in the example. Misal, example, liman hazal kitab. Liman hazal kitabu. To whom this book belongs? The answer is hazal kitabu li Muhammadin. This book belongs to Muhammad. So, first one, there is a diagram of a pen, qalamun. Qalamun. Liman hazal qalamu. Same example, liman hazal qalamu. To whom this pen belongs? Liman hazal qalamu. Same what we have learned in the example. And then we say hazal qalamu li Abbasin. Dr. Saab already given us the name to whom these things belongs to, right. Dr. Saab already given us the name to whom these things belongs to. Hazal qalamu li Abbasin. Next one is a diagram of a key. Key is miftahun. Liman hazal miftahu. To whom this key belongs? Hazal miftahu li aliyin. Next one is sayyaratun. Liman has his sayyaratu. Why I am using hazihi? Because this is feminine gender. Liman has his sayyaratu. To whom this car belongs? The answer is has his sayyaratu lil mudiri. Number 4, liman has hil baqaratu. Liman has hil baqaratu. Has hil baqaratu lil fallahi. Fallahi means farmer. Hazihil baqaratu lil fallahi. Next one, there is a bag there. Bag means haqibatun. Liman hazihil haqibatu. Hazihil haqibatu lil mudarrisi. Next one, kursiyun, chair. Liman hazal kursi. To whom this chair belongs. Hazal kursiyu li ammarin. Now this chair belongs to Ammar. Next one is ad-dajjajatu, the chicken. Liman hazihi darrajatu. Now why I am using hazihi? Because this is feminine. Liman hazihi darrajatu, dajjajatu. The answer is hazihi dajjajatu li bintil fallahi. Bintil fallahi, daughter of the farmer. Liman hazihi sa'atu. To whom this watch belongs. Hazihi sa'atu libnil mudiri. It belongs to son of the headmaster. Liman hazal baytu. To whom this house belongs. Hazal baytu lit tabibi. This house belonged to the doctor. And then the last one is mil'aqatun, spoon. Liman hazihil mil'aqatu. To whom this spoon belongs. The answer is hazihil mil'aqatu lit talibi. It belongs to a student. It belongs to the student. Hazihil mil'aqatu. The solutions to these exercises are given in Dr. Saab has given them in a book called Hallut Tamarin, answers to the solutions, and those are available on our website for download. We kind of went through this exercise a bit quickly because we have limited time. I would recommend Dr. Saab has given us space for us to write it down. So look at the example, try to do it yourself. Try to do it yourself and then go back to Hallu Tamarin. Check your answers against it. If you don't get it, correct your answer. But the important thing is to understand it. We have only one page left. Yeah, we'll probably finish it in like next 10 minutes, inshallah. Finish lesson number 8 and we'll begin with lesson number 9 in class number 14. Ta'ammal amsilatul atiyatu. Ponder on the following examples. Al baitu, very simple. Al baitu, the house. Fil baiti. Minal baiti. Ilal baiti. Simple, because fi, min and ila is your harf jar, and after harf jar comes ism majroor. Next one, al mustashfa. Now this is important. Al mustashfa, fil mustashfa, min al mustashfa, ilal mustashfa. Now why al mustashfa is remaining al mustashfa? Because this is mabni. It is mabni. Fi, min, ila comes with mustashfa, but mustashfa will remain mustashfa because mustashfa means it is mabni. It means hospital. Amrika, fi Amrika, min Amrika, ila Amrika. Amrika is mabni too, right? Amrika, fi Amrika, min Amrika, ila Amrika. What Dr. Saab is trying to tell us that some nouns are mabni, fixed. What is the meaning of mabni? They are fixed. Even though we do not see physical changes in them, but my mind knows that they are actually have a different form. For example, when I say fi Amrika, I know the Amrika, even though Amrika remains Amrika, but this is ism majroor. Similarly, Almania, what is the meaning of Almania? Germany. Fi Almania, min Almania, ila Almania, right? Next, Ikra waktub, read and write. Read and write. Now here Dr. Saab did not put the Arabs there. Now, we know from our knowledge and the tools that we have in our toolkit that what Arabs we have to put there. First one, Hazat tabibu min inkal tarra. Remember, inkal tarra. Inkal tarra is tiptoed, mamnu min as-sarf. Min inkal Hazat tabibu min inkal tarra. What is the translation? This doctor is from England. Next one, Zahaba Hamidun ila Faransa. Faransa means France. Now, what kind of jumla is this? Jumla felia, verbal sentence. Verbal sentence, it begins with Zahaba. What is the meaning of Zahaba? He went. He went. Zahaba. And then, whenever there is jumla felia, we have to find the doer of the action. What is the doer of the action? Who went? Hamidun. Right after Zahaba comes ism which is majroor, and immediately I can identify it as the file. Now, the file does not have to be followed immediately by the verb. It can be at the end of the sentence, it could be in the middle of the sentence, but we will learn it later. For now, immediately we find out the noun which is marfu. So, this is your file. Hamid went ila Fransa, to France. Number 3, Mahmudun maridun. Mahmudun maridun. What is the meaning of maridun? Sick. Mahmud is sick. Huwa al-ana fil mustashfa. He is right. He is right now in hospital. What is al-ana? Huwa is your mubtada. What is al-ana? Zarf, adverb. Right now, now, adverb of time, not place, adverb of time. He is now in hospital. Number 4, Zahaba Abdullahi. Zahaba Abdullahi min Almania ila Inkaltarra. Now, what kind of jumla is this? Verbal sentence. It begins with a verb. Zahaba, he went. Who went? Abdu. Abdu. Abdu is your file, also a mudaf, Allahi mudaf alayh. Abdullahi. Abdullah is mudaf alayh. What is the meaning of Abdullah? Servant of Allah. Right. So, here when I say Zahaba, where is the file? Only Abdu is the file, because file are marfu and they are nouns, ism, and Abdu is your file, wahuwa mudaf, it is also a mudaf, Allahi is mudaf alayh. Min Almania, Abdullah went from Germany ila Inkal Tarra, to England. Number 5, Hazal kitabu li Isa wa zalikal kitabu li Musa. This book belongs to Isa and that book belongs to Musa. What is li? Harf jar. What follows after li? Ism majroor. Isa and Musa. Isa and Musa, they are mabni. They are mabni, right? So, my mind knows that since they are being followed by harf jar, that they are ism majroor. The last exercise, Iqra, read. As-saburatu amamat talibi. What is as-saburatu? Blackboard, whiteboard. As-saburatu. This is your subject, your mubtada. Where is the khabar? Amama, in front of. The blackboard is in front of. Now, when I say in front of, then your mind is wondering in front of whom? Then I bring mudaf alayh. Amama is your shibu jumla, khabar, zarf, adverb. And where is the mudaf alayh here is? At-talibi. The blackboard is in front of a student. Wahiya khalfal mudarrisi, and it is behind the teacher. Hiya, why hiya? Why not huwa? because we are talking about as-saburatu. As-saburatu ends with a taw tanisi, golta. So, we cannot use huwa here, we have to use hiya. Next one, aina sayyara sayyaratul mudarrisi, where is car of the teacher? The answer is hiya amamal madrasati, it is in front of the school. Aina baitul imami, where is house of imam? Baitul imami. Now, you see, we can immediately identify whether a compound is mudaf mudaf alayh. Baitul imami, house of the imam, khalfal masjidi, behind the masjid. What is the grammatical value of al imami? Mudaf alayh. Where is the mubtada? Baitu. Where is the khabar? Khalfa. And al masjidi is mudaf alayh. Number 4, aina jalasa hamidun. Aina jalasa hamidun, where did Hamid sat? Jalasa mean he sat. Verb, where did Hamid sat? Jalasa, he sat. Khalfa mahmudun, khalfa mahmudin, he sat behind Mahmud. Now, what is khalfa? Zarf, and after zarf comes mudaf, behind. Behind whom? Mahmudin. Mahmudun will become Mahmudin. Mudaf alayh are majroor. He sat behind Mahmud. And the last one, zahaba ammarun. Ammar went ilal masjidi, to the masjid. Wa jalasa amamal mehrabi. Now, this is important. Zahaba, what kind of jumla is this? Verbal sentence, jumla fe'liya. Zahaba, he went. Who went? Where is the file? Ammarun. Now, here file is not mustatir, because right after the verb we find a noun which is marfu. So, that is your file. Ammar went ilal masjidi, jarun wa majrurun. Now, jarun wa majrurun is not khabar here, because we are not talking about jumla ismiya here anymore. We are talking about jumla fe'liya. Ammar went to the masjid, wa jalasa and he sat, amama, in front of mehrab, amam al mehrabi. Al mehrabi is your mudaf alayh. This brings us end to lesson number 8. Inshallah, lesson number 9 we are going to learn a very important concept, adjectives. What we call it, naat or adjective, and we will probably try to bring some Quranic example in the next class, class number 14, to clarify or to explain this concept. With that, we will finish our class. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. La yukallifullahu nafsan illa wus'aha, laha ma kasabat wa alayha maktasabat. Rabbana la tu'akhizna in nasina aw akhtana. Rabbana wa la tahmil alayna isran kama hamaltahu ala allazina min qablina. Rabbana wa la tuhammilna ma la taqata lana bihi wa'fu anna waghfir lana warhamna anta maulana fansurna alal qawmil kafirin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.